Hello, and welcome to OMG GoT. My name is Alexis Bevels. This is a new Game of Thrones review show where me and some guests go over our top 5 favorite moments of each episode of the final season. And holy cow, it's fitting that it's Mother's Day because this was the mother of all episodes. I am here with 2 amazing Chicago staples. Sitting to my right is the wonderful, the incredible Kat Sass. Kat, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I am traumatized by the last episode.
Yeah.
But like also excited for the future and also frightened. But feeling mostly like the last 2 episodes are going to kick ass.
Absolutely. Well, I'm thankful that you're here. Sitting to their right is Bella DeBalle. I just got your name.
It really took you this long to get it?
Yeah, well.
Work. People either get it right away or it takes them 6 months before they finally understand.
Bella DeBalle, you are one of my favorites here in Chicago. And actually, I performed with you last night and you got me drunk. So welcome to my show. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. We love getting people wasted at my show. So I'm glad, we did what we set out to do.
Absolutely. All right. We are going to discuss our top 5 moments of this episode. I'm not going to say favorite because I got to be honest, friends. I'm shook and I'm sad. Yeah. And I'm not sad that it's going to be over next week. I'm sad because this was a deep episode and we're going to get into it right now. Bella, I want to know what your top 5 favorite moment of this episode was.
Yes, of course. So my 5th favorite moment of this episode was the very beginning, which was Varys dying. And, Varys has been one of my favorite characters because he's one of those people who goes all out for what he believes in. And so him standing to his guns all the way up until that last moment where he said that he hopes that he was wrong totally did it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. When he took his rings off, I was like, oh, see, he knows what's happening before it happens. That was a good moment.
Yeah, every single moment he knew what was happening. Yeah.
Kat, what was your number 5?
My number 5 was the weird fever dream conversation between Dany and Tyrion that they said maybe 10 sentences to each other, but everything was so loaded, and I just was like, this is going to be terrible. I don't know, did it freak you out,
Absolutely.
that conversation?
Loaded is the word for this episode.
Ugh.
I like my episodes like I like my baked potatoes, fully loaded, and that's what we had this. Yeah, that was a really good one. Of course, I'm not a monster.
I do. I just started loving sour cream. Anyways,
absolutely.
it was absolutely traumatic, that moment, because you just knew. And also, do you feel like they're just making her sort of crazy really too fast? Like that in that scene, she was very catatonic, weird. She was behaving so weird.
Well, I mean, again, everything is loaded, and it's been a long journey to get here. Everything. Every turn, every choice everyone has made, it's and actually it brings it's interesting that you say that because my number 5 favorite moment, perfect segue, thank you Segway Tours, was actually it's the beginning of the episode, the Previously Ons. I love the way they did the Previously Ons for this one. It was
so good.
It ended with a close up of Dany's face. Last episode, spoiler, Missandei died, and it was just her face slowly getting mad. You saw the Mad Queen coming out, and in the Previously Ons, it was all these different layers, kind of from all the seasons. We had Olenna's voice, we had, all of them, whatever, their names. We had all of them, and it was like every time a Targaryen is born, the gods flip a coin, meaning, we don't know which if she's going to be a top or a bottom. We don't know.
Or versatile.
Yeah. Or verse. Well, it's crazy. And we're going to get more into that, but that was my number 5. Bella, let's go into your number 4.
Yes, of course. Okay, so my number 4 was, it was actually Kat's number 5, the conversation with Tyrion and Jaime. And the reason that it was my number 4...
Jaime or Dany?
Jaime.
What did you say?
Dany.
Oh, work. I just fucked up. Love that.
No, that's okay.
Well, mine was ignore the fact that I talked about Kat. Never mind. But my number 4 was Tyrion's conversation with Jaime, because I believe that this was, Dany has had her series of betrayals throughout the course of all the episodes and all the seasons, and I believe that this might have been Dany's 3rd betrayal, and I believe that Tyrion betrayed Dany for the love of his family. And
Absolutely, yeah.
so that's definitely, it was such a loaded conversation. It was so good. You could definitely tell that both of them were, in a sense, saying goodbye to each other,
Yeah.
which I thought was really, really beautiful for the two of them to wrap that up together.
And it was a beautiful reversal because the last time they were in King's Landing together, it was switched. Tyrion was chained in a dungeon.
Oh, yeah.
That was a really poetic moment between them.
It was Jaime freeing Tyrion, and now Tyrion got the chance to not only return the favor, but to thank Jaime for everything that he had done for him throughout the course of his life. So I thought it was a really great moment. I thought it was like a nice way for Dany to have her third betrayal, but also like we weren't that mad about it because Tyrion really does love his family.
And she had literally just said, the next time you betray me will be the last time you betray. Or the next time you make a mistake will be the last time. And honestly, Dany, same.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, if Tyrion had failed me as many times as he failed Dany, I'd also be like, all right, one more time and you're done.
Yeah. Kat, what do you have for number 4?
Well, my number 4 is definitely Varys' exit from the show.
Oh, yeah.
It was, I mean, I understand that it had to happen, but I would argue that he's the most moral character of the entire series because he just is sort of like unwaveringly dedicated to one single thing. And his allegiances don't really, and it's a principle and not a person. And I just think that's interesting. And I think that his death sort of says all bets are off. You know,
Yeah.
like he was the last like sort of moral, like, hey, this is the best for the realm. This is the best for the people. And everyone now is like, no, we're going to kill everyone. And we're more concerned about our own goals and our own thoughts than what is best for everyone and best for the people. So I think it's going to get really wild. So yeah, that was my number 4.
Absolutely. I agree. I really liked that Varys. I don't think he made my list, but I did nope, he made something. My number 4 was actually we're gonna skip forward a little bit into the episode. We're gonna go to Arya and the Hound when they're standing over that map in the Red Keep. Just that moment of the Hound being like, Arya, the road to revenge is fraught and it doesn't end well. Like, look at my skin. This is from stress. Is that rude of me to say?
No,
We'll-
everyone should
we'll cut
exfoliate.
that
I think it's perfect.
But he was telling her like, girl, you have to get out of here. It's not going to work. Also, we're literally crumbling. She's a crumble cake, honey. The Red Keep is going down. That was my number 4. It was a good moment. And also, there's been a lot of fan theories about Arya doing, coming for Cersei with Jaime's face on, or Arya doing this and that. And I was kind of like, is that true? Is this going to happen? Yeah. Oh, this thing is bothering me. If you can't tell, I'm dressed as. So last week we introduced a new character into the series, which is bold for them to do after 7 seasons. But I am dressed as the coffee cup that was in the beginning of the last episode. But I'm a little warm, so I'm going to take the top off. I'm just going to cool
that's all
down
right.
a little bit. Yeah.
You
All
know,
right.
you know that crew member was so fired.
How many eyes did it have to go through? And I'm not
No, but-
mad.
okay.
I'm not mad because honestly, after this episode, I'm so sad and I'm so depressed. I think that maybe it's kind of fitting that it happened last week to give us a week full of memes and levity. Like, can we go back to the coffee cup days? I don't want to do the rest of this.
It was so cute.
I'm going to take my top off. Hey.
Take your top off.
Yeah, I'm going to take my top off. I want to know, Bella, what your number 3 moment is.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so my number 3 moment was Drogon bursting through those gates right at the beginning of the
Yes.
battle. He'd already burned the hell out of that fleet.
Yeah.
And all we saw was the Golden Company being like, what the hell did we get ourselves into? And then he burst through those gates, killed everybody, and then the head of the Golden Company died running away from everybody. And it was a really great moment because it was like, I think that was the moment, even before Dany snapped, that I was like, oh, this is not going to end well for anybody involved.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. Probably all of us will be dead by the end of the
She
episode.
sunk all their battleships.
Oh, yeah. It was super. It was also like, it was a great moment to, right at the beginning of a battle, be like, oh, this is my strongest move. And what? You know?
Yeah. I don't need 3. I can make do with 1.
Yeah, she was like, all it took was 1 to burn everything to the ground. Imagine what happened. Imagine what would happen if I had 3.
Absolutely. Kat, what's your number 3? Speaking of 3.
Oh, yeah. No, I was going to go with a Jon Snow moment, but he's been so underwhelming for me recently, which I feel really bad about. I'm sorry.
No,
Kit
yeah,
Harington
you-
is so cute.
Yeah, you're
and
cute.
I feel
I'm
so
glad
bad.
you found love.
Yeah, good job with
Yeah.
your auntie. I mean, I don't know, honey. But actually, I'm gonna switch, and I'm gonna say the Golden Company like head guy, his Jonathan Taylor Thomas '90s haircut. I like loved it so much, and he's like swinging it around as he's dying, and I sort of lived for it. So I think I'm gonna change that to
You
my
mean
number
like
3.
the new guy that just came in this season?
The Golden Compass guy who's like, yes, I'll be here as long as you pay me. And like, we didn't bring the elephants. I'm so sorry.
And his
literally
weird,
walked- he walked in with 3 lines and said work.
weird
He's got
pleated
that-
pants. Did you see his pants?
Yeah, he's got pleated pants and he's got a bowl haircut parted down the middle.
Yeah.
But also it works for him and I
Wow.
liked it.
This was a first. You literally just changed it to that. This is a first for this series.
Yeah.
We've never had a change.
I'm just not that into Jon Snow at the moment, and I'm sorry,
No,
Jon.
I don't think you need to apologize. We're done supporting
Yeah.
white mediocrity. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I agree.
Yeah, that's so good. Well, I am gonna highlight a John moment. It's John and Danny. Before all this happens, it's in the she's doing. Well, I don't know where she is. She's in the. What is that called? Stonewall? Stonehenge? What is it called?
Stonehenge.
Blackstone?
No.
What? No. She's not there
no,
yet.
she's
She's
in the
Dragonstone.
Stone
Dragonstone.
Dragonstone.
Dragonstone. God.
Awful.
I'm not even that drunk. Dragonstone. She's in Dragonstone. John comes in and he's like, "No, you're my queen. I love you." And she's like, she gives him one final chance. She's given him so many chances. This fool has come back from the dead. He has gotten so many chances. And she says, "You really love me? You really love me? I'm your queen? Is that all I am?" And then he gets all nervous. Now, granted, devil's advocate, I wouldn't want to make out with my aunt either, but things were different back then.
Back then.
So they try to do it. He tries, and then he says, "I can't." And then she says, "Fine. Let it be." She says, "All right then, let it be fear." And that's when like she's like, she's kind of saying, whatever happens is your fault, dude. You have gotten 2 chances. Listen to me, Jon Snow. You've gotten 2 chances, and you fucked it up both times. Oh, I wasn't gonna curse because it's Mother's Day.
Do it. I think it's fine. Honestly, though,
No.
Jon Snow is like the king of ghosting.
Zoom in on her face.
Laugh at that.
Yes, zoom in on her face.
Cut my check. See y'all later.
Zoom
All right.
in on her face during that, and then cut out me saying "zoom in on her face." Okay, all right, okay. I wanna get to the good stuff. So let's do number 2. We're already to number 2.
Oh my
Bella, tell me about it.
We're moving so fast. All right. So my number 2, it's probably both of your number 1s, but I had a different one. My number 2 is Clegane Bowl. We finally got to see the 2 of them go head to head. And honestly, the reason that it was my number 2 was because one super quick sidebar. My favorite TV show is a show called Revenge. And that show, one of the biggest quotes on it is from Confucius. And he says that before you embark on the journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. And that was like...
That's
I got
profound.
really deep. But that was like... That was the...
Confucius from the television show Revenge.
I did.
That was deep.
I
That
did.
was-
I fully
honestly,
quoted,
Bella,
yeah.
that was DeBalle's deep.
Somebody get me out of here right now.
All right,
No,
okay,
yeah, but
that's
yeah, it was
great.
just because it was such a great ending to that story, and a little sub moment in that was the fact that he saved Arya from that same fate where he was like, you know what, I've already picked my path of revenge. There's you have so much left. And you don't have to do the same thing because you haven't picked it already. So I thought that was a really great moment. It was so great to finally see the 2 of them fight. And to see the 2 of them, take each other out, I
was
think
hot.
was such a satisfying ending
That was absolutely
to their
hot.
story.
Kat, what was your number 2?
My number 2 was like brother, sister, sexy death time. Because I'm a Lannister. I don't want to be, I'm like, oh no, I'm a Targaryen. But really I'm a Lannister, just family through and through. But not like that generally. Even though we're European. No, but I really have loved the development of the relationship between the two actors, between the two characters. I mean, Lena Headey is such a heavy hitter, and Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
Nikolai Coster-Waldau.
Yeah, Nikolai
I don't
Coster-Waldau.
know.
They're such amazing actors, and to
Yeah.
watch them, like, even when he had gotten stabbed and he was like laying backward on the ground, and you caught all the gray and all the wrinkles and all just like what this situation has done to him,
Yeah.
what his choices in life have brought him to, just like to catch it in a close up of his face and his hair was so cool. And then
It's powerful.
the fact that he came back for her, I know everyone wants to hate Cersei, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of love them both.
Well, that's what
What
we've
is that
been
about
saying.
them that makes them so compelling?
That's what we've been saying this whole time. That's what the show is about. It's no one is black and white. No one's good or bad. It's all motivation driven, and it's like you can't. You know what I mean?
Like,
you can't.
You don't know who to root for.
You don't know who to root for because they're constantly having redeeming qualities, disgusting qualities. We're pushing it away. We're doing whatever.
They're just people.
Okay, wait,
It was
hold.
just so romantic that he came back to die with her.
Hold on, Justin. You dropped money on the ground. I think it's a 20.
You
Yeah.
did drop money.
I don't want you to lose it, and I will take it if you leave without it. All right. Okay, we're back. Yeah, so that's what's so great about the show. And that's why the show is so frustrating. Again, we're rooting for Dany this whole time, and now I feel bad rooting for Dany.
That's the thing,
You never
it-
were? Well, you're smarter than me.
always rooting for Cersei.
I
know, it's
that's
true.
That's a big mood, though. I was
also
like,
Brienne.
Yeah.
After
Also
the
Brienne.
past couple episodes, very Cersei.
Oh, sorry. And also Greyjoy, Yara.
Yara.
I was very
Oh,
pro Yara.
Yara. We haven't seen Yara yet.
We saw her like a couple
No, I
episodes
know,
ago,
but
but
we
she's
gotta,
alive.
maybe she'll come back and do something. All right, okay. Before we get in,
Also,
no,
Laria
yeah.
Sand.
Oh,
Well,
she dead now.
Now that is something that I was hoping that we would address this episode. Laria Sand was chained in the dungeons, and Cersei made a point to say she was going to keep her alive. So I was really hoping someone would slip in there and free her.
Same. I literally was like,
but
she's gonna come back.
If the Lannisters are indeed dead, I mean, they kind of got a smoky ending, which the sadist in me wanted to see it. I want to see it, but. So if I'm assuming that everyone in Dungeons is dead, I think Ilaria is dead too, which is heartbreaking. My number 2 is actually the same as you, Bella. It is Clegane Bowl 2019 or whatever year it was back then. My favorite was 2 parts in that when Qyburn has been a slippery little minx this whole time, and there was no ceremony. He was like, "You need to obey her," and he was like, "Bye, Clyburn, no for you."
Oh my God.
And then second was, we're at the end. We're gonna get a little revival of No Eyeballs from the mountain, and then Sander the Hound is like, "Die! Why won't you die?" I thought it was funny.
And his like laughing during it too, when he was like,
Yeah.
"Wow, this really is it, and you still
Yeah.
won't die. What the hell?"
I can't. Yeah. Well, speaking of siblings, I want to take this moment to say this coffee cup idea, even though executed brilliantly, if I may brag, was actually my sister Lana's idea. Lana, thank you so much. You're beautiful. Happy Mother's Day to you. She's a mother. Yeah, I love you. Not like a Lannister, just like a normal. And also happy Mother's Day to Myra, and also happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day to everybody who is ever a mother.
My mom does watch this, and I thought I need to not curse this episode because I feel bad doing it.
No, honestly, my mom
Yeah.
is a huge Game of Thrones fan, and I was like, I'm doing a review show, and she was like, I can't wait to watch it. I was like, please don't.
No. Your mom should. My mom will never watch Game of Thrones, and don't because it's too scary. Okay, enough of that. Let's get to our number 5, Bella.
Yes,
Do it to me.
our number 1 biggest moment.
Oh, I meant number 1. Yeah.
That's fine. I knew what you meant. It was perfect. So my number 1 moment was that moment in the tombs with Jaime and Cersei dying together, just because I think it was such a poetic ending for the two of them. And I know a lot of people were rooting for like Jaime to kill Cersei or for Arya to kill Cersei as Jaime, but the fact that they died just as they were, being in love and being, we are the only 2 people who matter. It was such a really beautiful moment because Cersei is such a complex character, and honestly, I'm with Kat on this. Where a couple points during this season, I was like, I kind of want Cersei to end up on the throne. Like, I want her to win. And so to have like a humanizing moment for her, I think was such a really beautiful moment. And to have that with Jamie really did that for
and
me.
Jamie said way back in season 1, all he wanted was to die in the arms of a woman he loved.
Yeah.
And he did, I guess.
They both ended up getting like.
But you know what? Well, you know what irks me? I got an irk.
Tell me.
We'll never know if she was actually pregnant. I think she was lying this whole time, but maybe she was.
I don't listen.
Yes.
Having this past episode, having
You do.
her break down that emotionally and say, "I want our child to live. I want our child to live," over and over. I don't think she was lying, because if it was just her and Jamie, and
that's
she
a good
knew she was
point.
about to die.
That's a good point.
I think she would, if she genuinely was not pregnant. I don't think that would have been one of her thoughts, but that
Damn
was
it.
her thought to
I don't
live.
like being wrong. Kat, what's your number 1?
Just a thought, but I wonder if Jamie protects her with his body, and she survives.
Yeah, we technically don't see them die. Maybe there's a
No.
beam that like got lodged into
You
another
never know.
beam.
It's a
you never
big
know.
series of buildings.
Hey, you don't know. All right. Kat, I want to know.
Okay, so my number 1 was going to be Clegane Gate or Clegane Bowl. But I'm going to switch it only because I want this to be talked about because it's so good. Euron Greyjoy's death was hilarious. I was laughing out loud. He's like, I killed Jaime Lannister. I was like, yes! I mean, I'm sad, but
Yeah.
also it
So
was
perfect for his
so beautifully delivered. He was such a see you next Tuesday till the end.
Yeah.
It was so, like, him. It was so him.
Pacey,
He was the queen.
yeah, Pacey and Dawson by the creek fighting it out over
It
Michelle
was.
Williams, and they even had similar haircuts. I gotta say,
Old Pacey.
I hate to be a snoot. I really don't ever want to be a snoot in life and in this show, but I never cared about him. I was like, why are you introducing that? Why are you introducing this character so late in the game? I don't care about him. And he's so slimy and gross. I would make out with him. Absolutely, I would. But, and then how he died, like, it was so, it was just classic, like, machismo, like, I did something. He says to no one and nobody cares.
Oh, that's true. Maybe it just made me laugh out loud because the delivery
it was good. It was good. I'm not arguing
yes,
your-
I think
yeah.
he was just added as like a Hail Mary of chaos, just so they had a little extra
Yeah.
plot moments.
Well, and where
they
would
were
we-
hoping that we would think he was attractive, and I didn't, but
No.
I thought he was funny. I don't know.
I mean,
not
he had I'll say it this. He had a sleazy way of making me, I want to say aroused, but I know my mom's watching, so I
It
won't.
might be anger.
Yeah.
Anger arousal.
I'm gonna. That's a beautiful. Thank you for saying that. That's a beautiful point. I'm glad we talked about it. I'm gonna say my number 1 moment was the moment when Dany snapped. I mean, it was a long time coming. It was a build-up, but she was sitting on her Drogon. They had already done everything. Then she heard the bell. The bell was meant to be a saving. Everyone was like, ring them bells. They were doing Liza Minnelli. You gotta ring them bells. And then it finally did, but to her, it meant something quite different. To everyone else, it meant safety, savior, grace, whatever. To her, it meant, fuck. Sorry, Mom. This is the final straw that broke the camel's back, and she was just angry. And I'm not mad at her anger. However, I'm not into the whole killing innocent children and people. But that moment, the moment her face, she's crying. Amelia Clark, I like you a lot as an actress.
The thing, though. Hearing those bells for her was also hearing like Miss Sandy saying Dracarys. Like it was
Yeah.
that moment for
Yeah.
her that she was like,
And
fuck it.
And again, it's like whatever, Targaryens flip a coin, but I think her coin landed firmly on its edge. What was that? Batman Begins or whatever?
Yes,
whatever. Harvey Dent.
Yeah, the Riddler.
Harvey Dent.
No, Harvey Dent.
Whatever.
Two-faced.
I don't know. All right.
Two-faced.
Okay.
Yes, I get what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah, let's go to our MVPs. Bella, tell me your MVP of this episode.
So my MVP was actually the little girl who was featured very heavily in this episode, who ended up unfortunately getting burned. But the reason that she was my MVP was because she gave us a viewpoint that we otherwise wouldn't have noticed. So we got to watch from her and her mother's perspective the entire episode, and it partially translated into Arya's perspective. We got to watch the aftermath of Dany being a hero and Dany being super heroic and winning the day for everybody. But we got to see from the little girl's perspective it's just destruction and fire all around me. And I think that was a really important moment for the episode because it gave us a moment of we don't know who to root for. Because yes, Dany is technically winning the day against the villain, Cersei, but all of these people are dying because of it. And none of them...
That was very hard.
And none of them had anything to do with what Cersei did.
That was very hard to watch. It was hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
Kat, what's your number one?
My MVP would definitely be the Hound because I think he had the most clear success in the whole episode.
He was the saving grace, absolutely.
Yeah, and of all the the goals that people had, he was the person who most directly achieved his, and he did it in his classic kind of crotchety, really just doubling down and continuing to put the effort in. Way that he does, because no victory ever for him or anything that happened for him in general was ever came easy.
Yeah.
He had to work for everything. So it was super hard to kill his crazy ass brother.
Crazy ass Uncle Fester looking.
Oh, I was so. Were you disappointed by that makeup?
Yes.
No.
But
I don't have as critical an eye as you.
The mountains makeup you're talking
No.
Yeah, the mountains makeup. Yeah, I was disappointed by it.
His helm off?
I thought he looked like a baby. I thought his face looked like, the Snapchat filter that's going on right now where everyone looks like a baby. I thought he looked like that.
I thought it was just too smooth.
He did look very
smooth. If they just made it rougher,
smooth.
that would be anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry. It was just something that I
can't wait to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to agree with you.
It bugged me.
Yeah.
They do such beautiful work on that show with all the White Walkers and everything. I just wonder if everyone was just exhausted.
I do think that they were exhausted. We've said it in a previous episode, and we heard it all on the internet. They spent 55 night shoots doing that battle scene. I think that's why that coffee cup got left in, because they were all dead, which I really
Surviving on
appreciate the
coffee.
work that they were doing it. My MVP was actually the mother of the child that you said, and I think in the subtitles it said her name was Vicky. Vicky, you go girl, and I'll tell you why. Because Vicky helped Arya. I think Arya was we haven't really talked about Arya. Well, no, we did. But Arya, during that whole last episode, did you ever see Mother? Darren Aronofsky, Jennifer Lawrence. Mm-hmm. There was that scene in Mother where she's walking around the house and everything is insane, crumbling, horrible, horrible things happening. But that mom and the daughter is hey, I'll help you up. She's getting trampled. She's I'll help you up. And so she saved Arya, kind of gave Arya a boost, and then Arya went back and saved her. I do think, while we're talking about Arya, I think the last few minutes of the episode is Arya putting Daenerys' name on her list.
Ooh,
Yeah, I would.
I agree.
Yeah.
Which brings us to predictions. Bella, tell me about your predictions quickly. Yeah.
Honestly, those last couple minutes with that episode were the same thing for me. I believe that Arya is going to end up being the one to kill Daenerys because I don't think that Jon can do anything for himself because he's Jon Snow. And I think that Arya is going to be the one who does it for him. And
Fabulous.
she's going to realize that, she needs to go. Yeah. And then I also believe, super quickly, after this episode that Sansa will end up on the throne. That is my prediction. I believe she's been the smartest. I believe she's been the one who's grown the most the entire series. And I believe she's learned the most the whole series. And now that Cersei's gone, I think she has the compassion of Cersei. Or, I'm sorry, the brutality of Cersei, but also the compassion of her father,
Stark.
Ned Stark. And I think that's what's going to make her the best ruler.
I love that. Kat, tell me about it.
Okay, I think bye-bye Dany, for sure. I'm guessing that Jaime and or Cersei will survive just to the next episode. I just think that Jaime's going to survive. I don't know why. But I don't think I just think Jaime's going to survive. I don't know why. Just because he's kind of like a cockroach. He just keeps coming back. He just keeps making it. I mean, and also just the actor is tremendous. I think Jon's going to take the throne, and I think he's going to abdicate to Arya or Sansa because he never wanted it. And I think that he respects and loves his siblings and knows that either one of them would be a better choice than him. And I think Sansa is the best choice, which is weird. But also I think Arya would be a really interesting and good choice as well. But I think Arya's going to kill Dany. Dany's not going to make it. As soon as the second episode happened, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
This is bad.
I completely agree. I think Danny's gonna die. I don't know if it's gonna be Arya. I don't know if they're gonna give Arya 2 amazing kills like that because she's already taking care of the Night King. I don't know if they're gonna let that happen. Should because she's fierce. But I also don't know. I agree with you. I don't know if John can do it. I do think Danny's going to die. I agree with both of you. I think Sansa's going to end up, because she's the only one removed, I think everyone's going to kill everyone else, and then Sansa's going to be the only one left. Sansa, whatever.
Sansa.
However, so that's my official prediction. That's what I'm locking in. Lock it in.
Do we all think Sansa?
I think Sansa.
We're all team Sansa for the throne.
However, I know she just murdered so many innocent people, and I know that's wrong. But Daenerys, I'm not gonna be mad if she ends up with the throne. I've wanted it this whole time. We've been building up to it. She came from a very dark place, and she built herself up. She did a lot of great, admirable things on the way. Yes, this last one was bad. It doesn't look good on the resume. However,
But she also did like a lot of genocide-y things along the way. Or not
I
genocide
know,
things,
but she's
like,
given. This is not good. This is not good. She's
love
given
her, but-
everyone a chance for it not to be that way the whole time. This last time was the only time that she didn't give people a chance. She said, "I'm doing what I want."
Well-
but she did give John a chance. I say it now, John. If you had just sorry, Mom. If you had just did what she said way back in, what is it, episode 2? Just didn't tell your sister. Didn't tell, like, you love her, just love her. I know it's weird. I know she's your aunt. That's wrong. But you could have solved it. It's like it's not dissimilar to me with I fully believe had Valentina known her words, we wouldn't have had this lip sync off, and Shay would have won. So I believe
That's a comparison.
I blame Valentina and I blame John.
I will say, going off of the point that you're making, I can't, I don't think any of us can really fault Danny, because going through, don't get me wrong, obviously this was a turning point of an episode for her, but going through what she has gone through, where she lost not only her family, but she lost her best friend, her army, one of her most trusted advisors, the advantages that she had, and then come to find out that the man that she loves is the one who can sneak in and take her
Betrayed.
claim.
Yeah.
I would also snap. If I had been through so much in my life, and someone else who obviously had been through something, but not as dramatically as she had, tried to take that claim to the throne,
Yeah.
I would also be just as
It's really
pissed
hard.
as she was.
But now I'm like, well, but it doesn't excuse the murder of so many innocents.
I wonder if at any point John, having died already, will come up, and if that has any bearing on anything.
Yeah.
Because he kept shushing it down in the last couple of episodes. You know when someone shushes something down, you know that it's gonna reappear in some way.
Yeah.
I wonder
yeah.
what relevance that has. Does it have a connection with the Lord of Light? Is the Lord of Light gonna intervene? What's
Yeah.
gonna happen? I think
Lord
it's
of Light for the
possible.
throne.
What's gonna happen? We don't know. Well, we don't know. But one thing I do know is I love this show. I love this show so much. We are here at the gorgeous studios live in Elixir Lakeview. I want to thank my 2 guests for being here today. Bella DeBalle. Bella, where can we find you online?
So you can find me online at DeBalle Queen. You can also catch me every single Saturday at Charlie Chicago hosting Popular. And that's all.
Yes,
Thanks.
and Kat Sass, I want to know where we can find you. And Kat is actually about to embark on an amazing journey of your own. You are doing something very special. I want to hear about it. Tell me where.
Okay, you can find me on social media at cat.sass, on Twitter at I Hate Cat Sass. And what I'm doing is at the end of the month in LA, I'll be competing for Drag Queen of the Year. And I'm super excited. There's 7 other competitors from all over the country. And we're just going to go and show the best of drag. And it might not be what would be traditionally mainstream accepted in drag, but Alaska Thunder 5,000
You can say,
believes in
Great.
us and wanted to see great drag. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a, winky down there. You can have whatever down there.
Absolutely.
And still be an awesome drag performer.
Yeah, absolutely. This is Alaska Thunderfuck's new pageant, and she handpicked 8 specific artists. One of them is our darling Kat Sass here. So Kat is going to represent Chicago, not only Chicago, but really amazing drag. We're so excited. I can solidly speak for everyone here in Chicago. We're so excited. Keep an eye out. Follow Kat Sass. We'll put her Venmo in information below. So donate now because I know you're getting ready, girl. I know you're getting ready, and
Kat
yeah,
doesn't do anything half-assed.
absolutely not.
I'm going to bring the show of my life.
Kat Sass, Kat's full-assed.
Full ass.
Yeah, not half-assed. So we're gonna put their information below. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be there in the audience rooting for you.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me. This show is incredible. Thank you for doing it.
I know. I thank you so much. I know you both love the show just as much as I do. I'm Alexis P. Bevels. This has been OMG GOT. We'll be back next week for the final episode of Game of Thrones. Until then, I'm gonna leave you with the last words of Varys. Goodbye, old friend. What a downer, right?
He took his jewelry off like he was going to get in a fight.
Well, he didn't want to
He was
burn
literally
it.
like, oh yeah, let me take my ear.
He does like nice things.
I know. I love it.